Right, hello guys, I've got Spyro with me for this video. Say hello to the camera. He's not in focus. Oh well, I'm sure you can figure out what he is. We're not going to be talking about him today. I just thought I'd get him out to say hello. What we are going to be talking about is, as you can probably tell from the title of this video, top 5 intermediate reptiles. By intermediate, we're mainly going to be talking about their, well, obviously the care. I think for me, what goes into being an intermediate reptile rather than a beginner or an expert level reptile is sort of the size of their enclosure, the delicateness of their care, and like expense. I'd say like beginners, beginners tend to be quite cheap. I mean, you can get a bearded dragon. I personally wouldn't call a bearded dragon a beginner reptile. Stop trying to eat me, mate. I wouldn't call a bearded dragon a beginner reptile because they do need quite a big vivarium. Oh, he wants to go somewhere. But sort of your leopard geckos, you can get them for about 40 quid, whereas a lot of these are going to be on the higher end of sort of your big investments. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling, and we'll get into number 5. Now, number 5, we're going to be having a look at some Leachianus geckos. Rhacodactylus leachianus is their scientific name. These are one of my personal favourites on the list. I think they're an absolutely amazing lizard. They are the biggest species of gecko on the planet. They come from New Caledonia. They're an absolutely beautiful species, as you can see from these videos on the screen. Now, these videos specifically are coming courtesy of an Instagram page called The Leachy Garden. They're doing some absolutely amazing work with these geckos. As you can see, their geckos are beautiful. I've been following them for a while, and I really do implore you to go and follow them yourself. If you do think that these species, after you've watched this video, obviously do a lot more research. This video isn't really going to be going into the care, but if you do think that this is the lizard for you, go over to their page, have a good look, and obviously tell them I sent you. Their link is going to be in the description. I'll title it with their page and the lizards and everything. Yeah, definitely go and have a look at them. Now we'll move on to why I think this species is an intermediate species of lizard. As I mentioned before, they're a New Caledonian species of gecko. They are arboreal. Their temperatures and humidity can be fairly easily attained through just some overhead lighting, UVB and heating. Attach it to a thermostat and you're pretty golden with the heat. Humidity wise, you probably want to spray them 1 to 2 times a day, obviously checking the humidity as you go. Now, the main aspect of why I think they are an intermediate species is the size enclosure that you're going to need. As I mentioned before, they're the biggest species on the planet, which means you're going to need a lot more than your crested geckos, your gargoyle geckos, that sort of species. The recommended minimum that you'll find online is 24 by 18 by 36 tall. I personally would recommend a little bit bigger than that, just sort of 24 by 24 by 36 as a minimum. Obviously, as with every species on this list and in general, if you can go bigger, definitely go bigger. These lizards are going to really like the space. Obviously they jump just like crested geckos. They're a bit heavier bodied, so they're probably not going to leap at you, but they can jump, so really they are going to utilise the space if you can give it to them. So now let's move on to number 4 on the list. Number 4 is a species that I personally keep, and we're going to be looking at the frilled dragon. Now, frilled dragons are, I think, just the coolest. I mean, they based a dinosaur in Jurassic Park off of them. I think they're awesome. The main reason I would call them an intermediate species is due to their care requirements, the enclosure size, all of it. They're very active, as you can see from these videos. I know they are slowed down, but I'm sure you can tell. They need it very hot, well, not too hot, but it's Basically, they need it hot enough, but the lamp needs to be far enough away that it doesn't burn their frills. Anyway, I'm sure I'll do a care guide in the future where I'll explain all of that. They also need the humidity at the right levels. Their enclosure size is one of the biggest things. I've got mine currently in a 4 foot long by 3 foot tall by 2 foot deep. He will be getting upgraded within the year, hopefully, as long as nothing goes wrong, to either a 4x4x2 or a 5x4x2. So quite a big enclosure, as I say. Another one of the reasons I would personally say they're not geared towards beginners is they are very skittish. They're very skittish and they're very fast. So every time you're opening that vivarium to feed them, you've got to watch out. I've had mine jump out twice, and let me tell you, trying to catch a scared, very fast lizard running around your bedroom, it's not ideal. Now, these are another arboreal species, so you're going to have to pack it in with branches, foliage. They like to be able to hide. I've got a lot of cork bark rounds in mine, so you can go in it, you can go behind it. As I say, I would personally say it's just an intricate setup. Once you've got the vivarium all set up right, it's fairly easy going. You've just got to make sure that humidity is right. They are similar to bearded dragons in the fact that whilst they're growing, you really need to be shoving that food in there. I mean, I'm buying 100 locusts a week just for him. So yeah, I really can't understate that part either. Now, going into our number 3 spot, we're going to be having a look at Chinese water dragons. Now, these videos that you're going to be seeing on the screen are from an Instagram account called The Cali Dragon. Absolutely amazing page. She's got 2 beautiful Chinese water dragons and a Brazilian rainbow boa. If that is something you're interested in, again, her link's going to be in the description, titled everything. Definitely recommend going and giving her a follow. Now, if you know anything about these lizards, you'll understand why I'm calling them an intermediate species. Honestly, they are on the higher end of intermediate, I would say. This is because they are arboreal and semi-aquatic, so they need an absolutely mega vivarium. They need enough height and depth and width to climb to their heart's content, but they're also going to need a water area so they can swim, splash around, everything. Obviously, this is going to be massive. Now, again, I would personally say going bigger than the minimum is obviously always, like, whatever you can do it. Recommended minimum, I'd sort of say around the 5x4x2. If you can go any deeper, that's great. I know depth tends to be the issue because it's sticking out a bit more. But if you can go sort of 5x4x3, that's sort of the recommended minimum for one fully grown adult. Now, I'm not too clued up on their care, so I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. If you like the look of these lizards and you think you've got enough space for them, definitely go find someone who's a lot more knowledgeable than me, so most people. And if they've got a care guide, go and watch that. If someone else has got a care guide, go and watch that. Just do as much research as you can, and as I said, make sure you go and follow the Cali Dragon. Like I said, she's got those 2 beautiful Chinese water dragons, but she's also got an amazing rainbow boa that I would definitely recommend going and having a look at. It's a beautiful snake. Now, going into our number 2 spot, we're going to have our first monitor of the list. We are looking at the Kimberley rock monitors. Now, the videos on screen for this one are coming from an Instagram page called Sonic Toad. Again, links in the description, titled everything. This is a Kimberley rock monitor called Leora, I believe it's pronounced. She is Sonic Toad's Kimberley rock monitor. Sonic Toad also writes articles for a reptile magazine called Reptiles magazine. The link for that is also going to be in the description. She writes some great articles. It's a brilliant magazine. Again, go check out our Instagram page and go check out that magazine as well. It's all brilliant. Now, Kimberley rock monitors, they are an amazing, beautiful species of dwarf monitor. They come from Australia, so they're going to need it quite hot. By quite hot, I mean very hot. I have seen online that the minimum is a 4x2x2. I would personally give it a bit more height, go for a 4x3x2. Again, with all of these though, as big as you can give it, go for that. They are a varanid species, which comes with its own set of added complications. They're very intelligent. They will have that whole enclosure sussed, but like within the first week they're in it. So the best way to combat that is every week or so, change it around a bit, move some of the decorations. Biggest thing I would say is don't tongue feed them. Put their insects in there, let them hunt naturally. Obviously, if they've got something wrong with them, say they've got a bad leg or something, and the vet's recommended tongue feeding them, completely ignore what I've just said. But in general, I'd say, yeah, just keep them active, keep them moving around, and you'll be golden with their behaviour and all of that. Now, another thing, I haven't really mentioned it with the other ones. One thing with Kimberley rock monitors in this country, the UK, if anyone's watching from another country, in the UK, you're looking at spending around £1,000 on the lower end if you want to get one of these for yourself. I would say personally, from what I've seen, they are well worth the money. They are an amazing species to keep. I was thinking about getting one myself. I went against it for another species, nothing to do with Kimberley rock monitors themselves, but yeah, you're looking at around £1,000. It's a big investment. But yeah, that's another reason I'd say they tick over onto that intermediate. Obviously, that doesn't change the care for them, but you are looking at something that is going to set you back a pretty penny. Now, in at our number one, it's a little bit of a cop-out because it's very, very, very similar to our number two. However, it's a species that I absolutely love, hence why I'm about to spend a lot of money on one, or two of them even. They are the black-headed monitor, or Varanus tristis. So yeah, I'll get into that. Now, as I said, this is a personal, I don't think I actually said it, but this is a personal top 5. I'm not taking any of the attributes of these lizards and making it a list about that. These are my personal top 5 intermediate reptiles, which is why I am happy to put black-headed monitors in the number 1 spot. They are my favourite intermediate reptile, mainly because I was originally going for the Kimberley rock monitor, but me personally, they are very, very similar. They come from a similar place in Australia. They're in a darker colour, which I've always liked, and they're about half, if not less, the price. But yeah, I think they're amazing. I've currently got a 4 foot by 3 foot by 2 foot deep setup for them that I've made a custom background. If you want to watch my previous video, you'll see how I made it. That is going to hold 2 babies. Once they're growing up, I'm planning on moving them into a 6 foot long by 2 foot deep by 4 foot high, which will give them more than enough space, and hopefully going to get some eggs off of them in the future. Again, as I mentioned before, they are a varanid species, which means they're going to be very intelligent. I'm going to be moving around their enclosure a lot. They need it very, very hot, around 55 degrees on their basking spot. Obviously, you want the heat gradient going down to the cool side. But yeah, I am going to be doing a care guide on them once I've got a little bit more experience with the species, once I've got them and everything. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm not going to go too deep into it on this. It'd be pointless. I'm planning on making a video anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the black-headed monitors at the moment. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a fun video to make. Not that I've made it yet when I'm recording this, but it's been a fun video to record the clips. I want to thank everyone that's allowed me to use videos of their amazing pets. Obviously 2 of them were mine, but the other 3 people have graciously let me use videos of their pets, which I really thank them for. Again, go down into the description, you'll see the links to everyone's Instagram page and obviously Sonic Toad's articles and the magazine she writes for. But yeah, all the normal stuff. Like this video, comment on it, any questions you've got about any of the species. If I don't know the answer, I'll send you to someone who does. Subscribe, it really means a lot. We've managed to build up 27 subscribers as of making this video, which for 3 videos is, I'm quite happy with that. I am planning on the next video that's coming out is going to be me going to pick up my new lizards, so I'm quite excited for that. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next one.